I feel like this year I decided to go run the Chili Bowl just with all the dirt racing and stuff that I've been doing the last couple of years with Brexton, running in the Tulsa Shootout the last couple of years. I've gotten my feet wet more and more with the realm of these cars, but first time really behind the wheel of a midget there, so that's going to be interesting, but nothing competes or compares with the atmosphere and the size of the event and the way that the fans come out in droves. You've got the rowdy row down a backstretch, so excited about just getting out there and seeing what's different between the Tulsa Shootout and the Chili Bowl Nationals.
Are we going to see a Chili Bowl appearance from Kyle Busch?
No, I'm too big. I'm 200 pounds, man. Like, you come here with no weight rule and you have to build a bigger car and be in a bigger car and all that stuff. You can't keep up with those lightweight kids.
I would say the biggest reason why I've changed my mind now is just having more experience of being on the dirt, knowing a little bit more of what to expect being on the dirt. So for years, I've really never raced open wheel cars, never ran sprint cars or midgets or micros or stuff like that. So to have my feet wet a little bit more in some non-wing micros, I kind of feel like that gives you a better sense of how to understand what these vehicles will do and being around other cars in traffic. So obviously preparation for any event kind of goes the same, right? You want to look at some video, you want to study some past film and kind of see some of that. Also talking to some other, past drivers that are friends of mine and getting some of their take on it. And then two, just being able to go out there and get my feet wet and run a couple races. So, there's a couple races, I think, in November. We're going to head out to Bakersfield and Ventura and get my feet wet in some of those tracks and just try to see what I can do with the midget. I would say that I would imagine the micros and the midgets are different. Obviously a power to weight ratio is huge on a midget. So with 400 horsepower compared to, 140 horsepower maybe on a micro, that's a vast difference. So, just how fast you get going down the straightaway. They're probably slower in the corners. They don't have wings. They don't have the downforce. So it's definitely going to be closer to the non-wing action stuff that I'm accustomed to with the micros. But, I think the biggest thing is just being comfortable in the car, getting comfortable in the car, being able to get in and out of the car without a shoehorn. So we'll see how all that goes. I would say you have to go in with open expectations. I mean, there's no way that you're going to say, yeah, I'm going to make the A main, I'm going to win the A main. Like the competition level of all of that is just so high. And for me, being one of my first times behind the wheel of a midget is definitely, that's overstretching things, right? So again, just kind of relying on some of my friends and guys that I've been accustomed to talking to over the years and trying to get some of their advice on how to attack some of the different track conditions, how to attack the cars, how to race around other guys, things like that. I'd say you go in there with an open mind and, shoot for a C main, a B main, and, maybe get yourself close to the A main.
Kyle Busch, off of turn number 4, will win the Snowball Derby for the second time in his career.
I would say over the last few years, I've definitely picked up a lot more dirt racing. Been known as a pavement guy forever, but I've really enjoyed pavement stuff, dirt stuff. I've always watched that all the time. I love watching the Lucas Oil Dirt Late Model Series on Flow and checking out, the different modified series, all the stuff from the winter's time down in Florida. But getting into it more has just become something that father-son duo want to do. With my son Brexton racing a lot more on dirt, with the go-karts, with the micros, with the junior sprints. It's just kind of come natural for me to go along with him and to have a car as well, so I can go out there and have some fun and get some track time as well, and just kind of keep honing in on my dirt skills and get a little bit more, get a little bit better. I would definitely say there's a few guys that I want to lean on for some advice and guidance. Rico being one of them. Definitely Larson, Christopher Bell, Tanner Thorson. Those guys I've kind of had a relationship with over the last few years, as well as Torgerson. Ran with him and his team in the micro ranks, so would love to pick his brain now that he's gotten a full season underneath his belt as well while we're out there for Chili Bowl Nationals. I think the questions of just drivability, driving the car, how much can you attack the car with the track on a heavy track or a grippy track versus how much it's going to blow off and how much the car is going to change. How do you really feel the tire and wheel spin? Like, do you want wheel spin? Do you not want wheel spin? So I think there's a lot of those things, and learning some of that as I've gone along with the micros, I've kind of come to understand the micros don't have enough horsepower, so you're gas on all the time. You just let them spin and they'll catch up eventually. So I don't believe the midgets are going to be that same way. You're definitely going to have a lot more finesse.
Kyle Busch, Braxton Busch, thank you guys so much for the time, and have fun, all right?
Yeah, man, we will. You ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
You know, the last few years has been really a great time with Brexton starting when he was 5 years old, but now being, 9, he's gotten a lot more into the junior sprints and the restricteds. And so we've been running a lot of those races across the year in order to get ourselves ready for the Tulsa Shootout. I mean, everybody wants to go out there and win a golden driller, and so do we. So that's the main emphasis. That's the main goal. It's the biggest race of the year. The whole country and everyone coming together to race in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and to be a part of FloRacing. It's it's a dream come true for these kids. I feel like it could be a dream come true for me to go out there and win a golden driller as well in the outlaw classes. So, it's definitely been a great time. Just father-son bonding, mom being there, daughter being there, just having a great time as a family. Hey, racing fans, Kyle Busch here. The Cup Series season may be over, but racing season is still in full swing over at FloRacing. Gear up for a great stretch of winter racing this year by seeing me at the Tulsa Shootout as well as the Chili Bowl Nationals. And of course, you're going to want to stay logged in for the start of Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series and High Limit Racing seasons. Go get your subscription today at floracing.com/sign up.